Today I'm going to describe how to seed and dice a hot chili as well as a bell pepper. This is a jalapeno. For the spiciness of your food, you will adjust the amount of pith and seed that you leave in your recipe. The recipe that I'm working on is actually a fruit salsa, so I'm going to include some jalapeno, but I will not be including any of the seeds. So to chop your pepper, you can take this top off and then slice lengthwise down the entire pepper. It's going to split it into two. You could use your fingers or a paring knife cutting away from yourself to slice out the pith and the seed. And I'm going to put that right into my compost bin. So the less contact your fingers get with the seeds and the pith, the less burning you may experience. So I've washed that half of the jalapeno out. I'm going to repeat that step on the other side, cutting the pith away. The pith is this lighter white segment, and that is basically just soluble fiber. It's fine to eat it. If you like things spicy, you're going to want to leave that in. And I'm just cutting that away into my compost bin. So now I've got two halves of my jalapeno. Using my paring knife, get the bigger knife out of the way, I'm going to make thin strips because I want this to be kind of a small dice mince, so very small pieces of pepper. You can see here I've separated a piece of the pepper, but I'm keeping it attached close to this top with a tip. So I'm making these small strips, and you might have to curve along your pepper. If you make one a little too big, you can just then straighten it out. Got a couple seeds here. I'm going to scrape those up and get them out of the way. So now you can see I've got multiple little strips all attached at the top. I'll go back to my bigger knife. Once you get down to the tip, you could cut it in half and dice it a little bit further, or you could just throw that in the compost bin. Okay, those pieces are a little bit bigger. If you want to get this even smaller, you can put the point of your blade down, use your hand on the back of the blade and go an up and down motion, and that will further dice and mince your peppers. So that's a pretty fine dice or a mince on a jalapeno. Just going to scrape this off and get it to the side. If you're switching between peppers, you're going to want to wash your blade. If I had done the bell pepper first, probably wouldn't need to wash the cutting board either. With a bigger pepper, you can actually leave the top on, slice all the way down, and then you're going to see that same pith and seeds. Now these obviously don't have any spice to them. You can just kind of pull the top and the seeds away. It comes out largely in a big chunk. I don't mind the pith on these. I am going to trim this a little bit. There's a little bit of oxidation there at the stem. If you wanted to get rid of the pith, you could use your paring knife and cut away from you down towards the cutting board. Remove that. And I usually like to cut the ends off so that I'm working with more of like a flat sheet of pepper. I'm going to use a similar technique to before. You could use either knife for this. Cut almost all the way to the edge, leaving a little strip of pepper intact. I'm going to make a medium dice on this, so they're going to be more like 1/2 inch slices, but you can make them as fine or as large as you like. And I'll just dice on the edge of the pepper. And again, using your hand kind of like a claw as you get closer to the edge. You're never going to catch a finger if what the knife is going to come in contact with is the edge of your finger and your nails. It's got lots of little diced pieces here that'll be really nice in a soup or a stew, chili. If you want to make more like strips for fajitas, this is the other half of our pepper. I'm going to pull that top part off again. Get rid of the seeds and the pith, rinse it out if there's extra seeds. come back to the cutting board. Again, I kind of just remove the ends, and I will actually dice those up separately. So you're working with more like a flat sheet, and then you can slice these as thick or as thin as you like. A little thicker, you can have fajitas or steak and peppers. Great for scooping up hummus. So that's how to chop a bell pepper and a jalapeno.